what we've seen out of the quarterbacks is, I think Josh Dobbs, has started strong, and he's doing some really good things out there. And also, I really see him. He's really improved his leadership as well. So, like his start, Quentin Dormady, likewise. I mean, this is his second year in the offense, so he's obviously, ahead of where he was last year and performing very well. And then Sharon Jones has gotten a few reps, and he continues to learn because, excuse me, he didn't get a lot of reps last year. And then Jarrett Garantano has come in, and it's a learning process for him. He wasn't here in the spring, and so every day is a learning situation for him. And but he has shown that he's obviously very athletic, and he's got a really strong arm.
You mentioned Dobbs and leadership. I guess how specifically? Obviously, that's been one of his strengths always. What's different about him now? What does he do now that he hasn't done before?
Well, I think before he was always, in some ways, hesitant to bring the team up or the offense up, whatever. And he might go around and talk to guys individually or talk to the group, receiver-wise, whatever. But he never really did it too much as a unit. So, like after yesterday's practice, he brought the unit up. So I just see him really taking control.
You said in the spring that one way for Dobbs to improve his accuracy was to improve the footwork. Have you seen better footwork from him?
Yes, and when I talk about that part of it, in today's football, you don't see a lot of times guys just go back and drop back and throw the ball right away because of the superior talent on defense and the rush and all the blitzing and things like that. So, a quarterback has to learn obviously to step up, sidestep, scramble, all those things. And so therefore, every throw is different. One time he might be here, the next time he might be over there, and so it's just all that goes into it. So, but he's obviously improved.
Mike, is Jarrett kind of a typical freshman, or is he maybe a little bit more advanced than some of the freshmen that you coached?
I think it's a hard question when you say typical, I think he's really smart, and he is studying it, and again, we've only had 2 practices, so I'm happy with where he's at, and he'll just continue to learn and get better as we go through this.
What you see out of Jarrett over the course of the summer, Mike, especially when you can have those couple hours a week with him?
Well, we can't be out there with them when they're throwing.
Right.
So you really can't see a lot. It's kind of limited that way. But you could obviously tell, when we work some technique stuff, he's athletic, got quick feet, and all those kind of things. But, these last 2 practices, first 2, we've been able to watch him throw.
Coach, with the offensive line, how would you and Coach Mahoney manage just, the depth that you have there with reps and things? It seems like you have a pretty good problem compared to last year with the bodies.
Yeah, Don, we talk about that before every practice. We go through it, and he'll say, here's my thoughts with rotating guys today. So every practice has a plan, excuse me, where we're rotating guys around and getting guys reps. So we did that last year too. I thought he did a great job of that.
And can you speak about left tackle, just the competition there between Drew and Brett, and how you see that as camp starts?
Well, I don't look at it as just competition at left tackle. I look at it as, we're going to play the 5 best, and Brett is also moving over to right tackle and working over there, competing over there, and Brett works inside too, So we're going to end up with the 5 best guys, and so whoever that is, we'll play those 5 best. When you ask about left tackle, though, the 2 guys that are rotating over there right now would be, Drew and Brett. So, but Drew never leaves there, whereas Brett does. And Brett can do that because of his knowledge, his experience, and all that. So that's why he's able to do that.
Coach, you had a lot of success last year, but how would this offense maybe look a little different this year in its personality? Do you have any anticipation, any minor changes?
Well, yeah, but, I got to protect our guys, our players, and our program and everything else, and can't, talk too much about that. But I will just say that, every year teams look at that, every team I've ever been around, coached with, program, you always evaluate what you've done well, maybe how you might put a little wrinkle in here or there, or new plays you're going to add. So, we've done the same thing that way.
There's the three of those newcomers and the receiver made a couple things that really in practice last night, some one-on-one stuff. What have you seen from each of those freshmen and some of those newcomers that went out?
Well, first of all, I want to compliment all the freshmen, and we were talking about this as coaches last night and this morning, but our style of play is different. And what I mean by that is, you don't see guys out there jogging around and when they're in a play. I mean, it's full speed, and if they're on the backside of a play, they're sprinting across the field to go get a block, things like that. And this group, and I'm not just talking about the freshman receivers, the entire freshman group has really picked up our style of play fast. And I think it's a compliment to our older guys who are showing them that. But, those guys have really stepped up, and they're learning every day. They're learning new plays. They got new plays day one, new plays day two. Guess what? Today, new plays. So they're just going through that learning curve. But I really like their focus. I like the way they practice, and we'll see how it all plays out in the end.
You like the variety you have there with some
Sure.
guys like Tyler,
Sure.
guys like Jeff, and that side.
Yeah, and that's, we're just going to have to find out where guys fit the best, and that's what we're going through right now. Like we talked about with the offensive line, you do it at all positions, really. We're doing it with the receivers, tight ends. Who are we going to play there? So that's what training camp's all about.